Let me show you a super easy way to make some wonderful watercolor roses. Come on, I'll show you. So most people, when they say that they want to do a watercolor rose, they get tied up in two things. One is they don't know how to make a good center of the rose. And the second problem that sometimes occurs is that the rose looks too much like a bullseye. So I want to go through both of those because it's just so doable to make beautiful little soft watercolor roses. I'm using a size 6. You could go up or down, 8 or 4. And with my 6, I'm going to redo a couple of centers. I'm using, by the way, quinacridone red. And quin red to me is such a beautiful color. This is Daniel Smith for roses. Now, roses come in all colors. So, of course, whatever you have, if you want to do a bouquet, if you want to do a variety of roses in different versions and lights and darks and shades, of course, that's great. So the way to do the center and what will keep you out of trouble is to think of the center as almost being a yin-yang sign. Because, you know, roses, as they get in tighter, they're going to, the little curls, you know, they go wider, wider, wider. As they get in tighter, they need to kind of wrap around each other. And that yin-yang sign, for lack of a better way to say it, is perfect. I'm trying to make it extra big so you can see what I'm talking about. I also like sometimes to put a little stick in between them. I don't know why, but it seems to kind of help the look. So before we get too carried away, let's talk centers only. So I'm going to do a couple for you. There is one of the two little circles that are covering each other. And whether you do the circles in the center or whether you do the outside petals as they unfurl, you don't want to have blunt. You don't want blunt, and you don't want even like you're trying to do a bullseye. So again, sticking with the center, I know I'm over-explaining, but I know everyone loves watercolor roses, and it makes me feel bad when they don't get it because it really is simple. Trust me. Stick with me, okay? So you're going to do the center however you want to do it, just tighter in the center. And like I said, sometimes I'll put like a little line connecting them. Let's go to the side view. And let me show it to you as close as I can. This is no, this is pretty much no too, but these are all good centers. So if that makes sense, let's make a rose. Okay, are you with me? So with a rose, let's do a little one on this piece of paper. The darkest part and the most intense as far as color is concerned is right here. So we're going to start. I showed you all those nice little varieties of little centers. So here is the beginning. I'm going to put just a little line between a couple because I like, and then we are going to continue on. Again, here is a close-up. Let me zoom in so you see exactly what it looks like. Okay, there's my center. And again, you can do a wide variety of them, just as long as you have that general concept. All right, so now we're going to go to the leaves. Now, I have a lot of paint on my brush right now, and so I'm kind of taking advantage of that and dabbing it in. Little bug tried to crawl in here. What's up with that? But now I'm going to dip it into water. I'm going to dip it in and tap off excess so it's not rolling all over. And that's it. I'm not going to wipe it. I'm not going to rinse. I'm just going to lighten it. So here we go. Here's a bigger version of what we just did. Now you'll notice I'm alternating where they begin and where they go next, and then I'm tapering them. instead of it being a bullseye look where it's all centered and like just keeps going in perfect little circles around it, you want it to be more of a natural look. I'm dipping in again the same way. I'm holding it on the side. I wish I could show you that. Let me see if I can. There you go. I'm dipping it on the, tapping it on the side to take off excess color. And now it's getting even lighter as we go. And if it looks like it's a little lopsided, guess what? That's good. We like that because then as we continue growing, and again, here's a sideways view. Do you notice that I'm putting the tip down to make it very skinny? Then I'm laying down the brush. That's an important part with it. And then I'm lifting back up again, okay? So here I go again, still with this close side view. And it's getting thinner and thinner as far as, wrong word, not thinner, lighter and lighter, like thinner pigment. And now I'm getting even more. I'm dipping in and I'm really getting a nice watery look. And that is what's going to really help with the beauty. You notice the center is towards the left. That is absolutely fine. If you want it in the middle, that's fine too. But it's really kind of fun to put the center in different areas because then it'll look like it's kind of going in a different spot. I'm going to dip in the water, just the tip of it, and I'm going to get more pigment, more paint with the Quin Red. I'm going to just tap in here and there so that it just kind of has the look as if you've got lighter and darker shades. And I might get more water and kind of smooth it out just a little bit. You know, watercolor is so fun with petals. I just did a short on petals. And I've also done dot flowers, but if I can help you with anything, ask me a question and I am here for you. So there is the rose by any other name. If you want to make it bigger, you can, but avoid going on and on and on to the point where, you know, you're trying to perfect it and you end up with it just not looking as rose-like as you like. You'll notice that the layers as they go around have different shapes and they all taper. They get thin as they go out, like right here. None of them are flat. Let me just show you what that means real quick. None of the layers are like this. All of the layers are tapered, flat brush, and tapered, okay? Regardless of how thick you're doing a layer or how light or dark, you want it always tapered, flat down, and lifted. So let's do one. Now that we know how to do it, let's do one again. Are we having fun yet? Come on. So here's a tiny little center, and it's got a little bit of that yin yang or parentheses, and then I'm just kind of tapping it a little bit just to kind of blend out the look of it. Now I'm dipping my brush in there, getting a little thinner, and I'm doing my first petal. And I might keep this one a little bit more in the center. You never know. I'm getting a little thicker. Notice that even though I'm not making it go all the way around, they do have kind of a little bit of a balance. I'm tapping in between. You know how sometimes I do like that little line in between I told you about? And if some of them get a little darker or thicker or whatever, go with it. I'm getting even thinner here. One thing I kind of like is even if you have just a little bit of a water line, a little hard edge. Doesn't look bad with a rose in my opinion. Now I'm going in and I'm tapping a few spots to kind of enhance the fact that you have different lights and darks, creating different values in it. And I'm just going to tap in a couple of them here and there just for fun if we want to. And there's my second rose. Now, one thing that's kind of fun with roses is if you want to get into leaves. So let's talk about a rose leaf. If you have sap, put a little burnt sienna in it. If you have undersea green or Aquarius green or some kind of a darker olive green, I really like that look too. Here's Aquarius green by Roman Schmal. And I'm just going to show you when I do a rose, I love to do without touching. Do you notice that? I'm not touching. A fat little stubby rose leaf. Now you can make it a little bit scrubby-ish if you want, but there it is. Now, the fun thing with a leaf to do, if you're in the mood, let me do another one right here, just so we have two to play with. The cool thing is red and green, of course, are complementary. They're opposites of the color wheel. So they look pretty together. And if they do touch, it doesn't look bad. It just looks more like a shadow. So I'm going to go in. And one little trick I like to do with leaves and sometimes even certain like pansies, if you want to look at my pansy, quick little blurb on here. It's fun to make these little marks in it. And I'll probably go into sap, real watery, and even tap a little bit of something in there just for variety. We like variety, right? And if I want to get fancy, I could even tap in, a little bit of cadmium. I'll show you what that looks like if you want to see. Just a kind of something that goes well with where we're headed with these leaves. But the leaves are fun. And I think if you tuck them under the petal, and I just touched it, and it's okay because, again, they're complementary and they'll be fine together. But if you want to just tuck a couple little leaves in there, I think that is a really cool look as well with your rose. So there you go. Play around with your roses. Have fun with them. And if you want some more, would you please subscribe and help me get the word out? I've taught a lot of watercolor through the years. I'm helping some of that color to kind of roll around. Yay, that looks pretty. I've taught watercolor and I've been a watercolor artist, but I'm new to YouTube and I'm here to share. So if you will subscribe, that'll help me and it'll keep you in the loop too, because I like to spill my guts. I like to share anything that I know. It's for you too, right? We got to be in this together and be kind and share little tips and enjoy the process of painting. I hope you had fun. I know I did. Bye-bye.